Columbus Convention Center and what should be a competitive matchup. The undefeated St. Vincent-St. Mary Lady Fighting Irish 5-0 on the season, taking on the big Walnut Lady Golden Eagles, and both squads that are competitive, strong, and looking for big wins coming down here in Columbus tonight.
Definitely, Bryce. This should be a good showcase of basketball we have tonight. We got two really talented teams going head-to-head in a great afternoon of hoops. So it's still early in the season. They're still trying to find themselves and what they want to do long term. But I'm excited to see the creativity and also kind of just a hard-nosed basketball tonight, Bryce.
Taking a look at the team spotlight for St. Vincent-St. Mary. And as we mentioned, they are undefeated, but last year going 23-3, number 24 in the state of Ohio, and they were undefeated at home. Matchup last year going down to the final possession, defeating Big Walnut 57-54. Taking a look at their last three, with Richmond Heights on the 14th, they won 68-32. Boucher 63-18, and against Rocky River 71-33. So a team that has been winning not only by a lot but convincingly.
Definitely, Bryce. They have been cruising on easy mode, right? And that's been good for them, able to kind of find themselves who they want to be, run their different plays and schemes, Bryce. But I feel like there's going to be a little more competition tonight for them, Bryce.
Taking a look at the player spotlight for the Lady Fighting Irish, and it is Tatum Smith, and the numbers against Richmond Heights: 22 points, 5 3-pointers, and 6 assists on the night. The off guard, number 42, is excelling, just recently signed to Lake Erie College, and you see why.
Definitely, Bryce. Word on the street is they have a bucket of water next to the bench because she's just on fire from beyond the arc, Bryce. And you're just going to have to, on defense, pay attention to her because she's just always moving behind screens and just a very deadly, really shooter anywhere she can be at.
Taking a look at the keys to victory for the St. Vincent-St. Mary Lady Fighting Irish, and stretching the floor for ISO, kind of like a divide and conquer tactic where Big Walnut has so many weapons, trying to bring them so it's one-on-one and not so much like the whole team against one.
Definitely. They feel like they have a lot of good players that they can play face up, get them in good situations, and exploit those mismatches, Bryce.
And the other key to victory there, matching exceeding that physicality. I mean, big bodies down low for Big Walnut, but they have the size to match it too.
Definitely. I feel like this game is going to be won in the paint, Bryce. You know, getting those easy short baskets, getting those boards, controlling the glass, and on offense and defense. Those are going to be the big keys to victories for the big people down low.
And taking a look at the team spotlight for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles, and 5-2 on the season. And taking a look at some of their numbers last year, 24-4 overall, going all the way to the Final Four, losing to the eventual state champion Winton Woods in overtime by just 3 points. And they were a young team. They have 9 of 12 players returning this season, also picking one up as well.
Definitely, Bryce. You know, I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a redemption arc for them. Like you said, last year was kind of their first time to the party, you know, kind of looking around, getting used to things. This year, they're trying to make a statement in Ohio, making a statement they're here to stay, and they should be reckoned with.
And because of those 2 losses, their state ranking has taken a little bit of a tumble, but don't let that deceive you. It's kind of an iron sharpens iron situation where they're looking to play the very best in Ohio because they want that level of competition. They know that it only makes them better.
Definitely. Sometimes I always try to tell people, don't look at just the wins and losses, look at who they play, right? And I feel like they want to play their best basketball later on in the season. And like you said, for that to happen, it has to be iron sharpens iron. See some good competition early, seeing how you set up against that competition and see where you can stride to when you want to get to the peak of your season.
Taking a look at our player spotlight, and to start us off this season, we've got to take a look at Sydney Mobley, the returning 2-time OCC Player of the Year, won it in her freshman and sophomore years, and her stats last season show why. 20 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, averaging a double-double, 1.5 blocks per game, and over 2 steals per game, just all around so dominant.
Definitely, just an all-around great ball player, and she needs to be a great ball player today if they want to get the win, Bryce. Kind of controlling the pace of the game, giving that confidence to her teammates, you know, being a leader on the floor, you know, just setting the pace and letting them know what Golden Eagles basketball is all about.
Rounding out the NAMI Ohio pregame show, taking a look at our keys to victory. And they are going to need to dictate the tempo and the initiative, ensure that St. Vincent-St. Mary is responding to their moves and not the other way around, but also dominating inside of 10 feet, not only putting the ball up strong, but also the rebounding game too.
Definitely, Bryce. Like you said, rebounds, rebounds, rebounds. I would like to put $1 down on this game. I bet you the team that has the most rebounds at the end of this game will probably win the game. This is going to be a battle within the trenches. It's going to be a good one.
So we are getting ready for the opening tip-off here at the Greater Columbus Convention Center, in a great place for it. We were here last year for the Holiday Hoopla, and glad to be back.
This weekend, 62 of the very best high
Get a look at the opening lineups as both sides are brought to the floor. Just so much anticipation coming into this one. It came down to a single possession last season, and you know that Big Walnut has been thinking about this all year long.
Definitely, Bryce. You know, they know this is a good team, and they want to show how much, not to the, also to like the world, but to themselves, how much they've grown since their last encounter. You know, it's always just a good measuring stick, you know, and it's just going to be good and great competition out here, Bryce, and I'm excited, ecstatic, I should say, for these hoops.
And what was sort of unique last time, there was just one floor during the Holiday Hoopla, but now there's about 4 all the way around. We'll get a look at the starting lineup.
Number 14, Sydney Oakley. Number 21, Alexa Morris. And number 24, Riley Threat. And now the starting lineup for St. Vincent-St. Mary's. Number 1, Olivia Corbett. Number 4, Cassidy Brown. Number 22, Sydney Ferguson. Number 32, Taylor Rogers-Williams. And number 42, Taylor Smith. Let's have a great game.
And that rounds out the starting lineups for both sides. Great PA announcer. Great PA announcer really add another element to the game.
I cannot wait for it, Bryce. It has all the makings for a great game, right? Great players, like you said, great PA announcers. I can feel the crowd is inching and inching to kind of exploding to just see these good hoops, you know. And I got a feeling these refs are going to be pretty good too. They seem pretty locked in from when I walked around and gave my scope of the game beforehand. So, you know, if you ask me, that's a good basketball cake recipe.
We are ready to meet at center court. The one notable player leaving Big Walnut, Denza Allen, going up to Bowling Green State University. But this is pretty much the same lineup as before. We are underway. Mobley winning the tip. Underneath the basket now, fishing it out. Federer. Now Largent picks up the dribble. Mobley with the ball in her hands, first time tonight. Great spin move off the glass.
You know, just a great move by her right there, Bryce. Just nothing simple, something simple. Just putting the ball in the basket, showing her dominance early on.
Cornuth, the point guard, setting up this Lady Fighting Irish offense. Down low to Ferguson. Ferguson just able to hold on to it, sends it away. And a soft floater off the glass is good for 2.
You can definitely tell early on, Bryce, how this Big Walnut's defense not letting anything easy down low. They had a quick double team, if you saw, on the post.
Morris to Federer into the corner. 3-ball attempt is too long. Mobley traps the carrier along the sideline, but backs off, and they work it across midcourt. Mobley gets back quickly, though, on the other end, and is able to push it out of bounds.
That's just great hustle by Mobley right there, getting back on defense and going the extra mile of trying to play recovery.
Now Ferguson, spin move, and with the right hand, too short. Last touch will go against St. Vincent-St. Mary, so Big Walnut will retain possession. Still all squared away at 2 after a minute and a half here in the first quarter. Largent guarded closely, setting a screen. Now Federer, but they're going to call a blocking foul against St. Vincent-St. Mary. That's Taylor Rogers-Williams who will pick up the foul. That's the first for either side.
You can tell early on this Irish defense is being real physical, Bryce. Smothering on playing real tight.
Top of the key, Mobley will try the 3-ball. Off to the left, and rebound goes to St. Vincent-St. Mary. Now Ferguson pushing the floor. Cornute setting up the offense. Will flip the floor, now to the wing. And an offensive foul. Will turn it the other way, so heads up defense.
Yeah, it seems like she got her feet set right there, Bryce, from standing the screen.
So granted another opportunity to Big Walnut. Now to the wing, Largent tries the 3 from 4 feet behind the 3-point line. Offensive rebound goes to Mobley, and the putback is good.
That's just a great second chance effort by Big Walnut right there, staying true.
Jumping on top of it, recognizing it right away. Now Mobley on the other end pulls up with the jumper, decides to keep it herself, and instead it'll be a travel and go the other way. So good defense ends up turning into nothing on the transition.
You gotta love the effort by Big Walnut right there. Even though they forced a turnover, they didn't get the result they wanted in offense, but good effort right there.
And of course, Sydney Mobley, all alone underneath the basket. A mental lapse. Taylor Rogers-Williams able to slip behind.
Definitely, Bryce. That was just a broken play right there.
And they'll call a foul. This one going against Melania Cornute, the 5'7" guard. Federer just lobs it. Put it right on the money. Now Mobley will set up the offense at the 3-point line. Now looking low. A great reverse layup attempt, but unfortunately there's too much. Riley Thrapp, the shooter.
That was a great find, but you gotta execute right there, Bryce.
Now down low, Rogers-Williams to Ferguson, but she'll be hacked, and that'll send her to the line for 2.
You can say, as you see it, Bryce, in that last replay, she's calling for the ball. She wants that mismatch. She knows she can use her post moves, and that's an ideal situation. So good for the Irish finding that and exploiting that mismatch right there.
And she knocks down the first. Shelby Damron will check onto the floor for Big Walnut. Second try also good. 2-point lead for St. Vincent-St. Mary. Setting a screen and rolling out, but defense getting too close.
I feel like the Irish has to be a little more cautious. You want to play aggressive, but you also want to be mindful, right? You don't want to get yourself in foul trouble too early on here in this matchup.
And Rogers-Williams will check out as halfway through the first quarter, that's her second foul.
Yeah, Bryce, it's something they want to avoid, especially when you have Mobley down low. She seemed like that was her assignment. I'm interested to see what's going to be the Irish adjustments holding her.
Give and go attempt. Mobley takes it up strong and will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Bryce. And once again, what it seems like that's what the matchup they want right there. As soon as the ball is inbounded, Mobley was just in attack mode, attacking the cup.
And so she'll be searching for her 5th and 6th points of the night. That's her 5th point of the night. She has all so far. Back in too hard. And the rebound goes to Ferguson of St. Vincent-St. Mary. They flip the floor and will look ahead. Tatum Smith to Ferguson. Ferguson knocks down the triple. Largent getting back on the other end quickly, picks up the dribble, looking to the corner now. Dameron has it, down low, Mobley working hard, and it pays off.
You can definitely see that Mobley is trying to get started early, Bryce. She's been the ignition starter for this offense here early on.
So just straight man-to-man defense for Big Walnut. Dameron guarding closely. Grau picks up the dribble, finds an option, Cornute up the middle, but they'll say reach in, and it'll stay on the floor. Another look at that one. Looks like that one going against Federer. Dishing it out to the three-point line. Tatum Smith with the scooping right hand, but unfortunately can't get it to go. So up the floor is going to be Thrapp. Thrapp with the floater right hand. That ties it up.
Definitely, Bryce. You can see that's what Big Walnut wants. They like pushing the pace. They did that the last 3 times up and down the court.
Now to the basket, up to the block, and a nice spinning layup from Cornute. Federer picked up, and it's knocked away. It'll go the other way.
You can just tell, Bryce, that the Irish is kind of settling in, kind of trying to turn the heat on defense. Seems like they're kind of getting the feel for this Big Walnut's offense and what they're trying to do.
So, host of substitutions, couple of folks coming off the floor. Up the court will be Taylor Miller. Cornute with the right hand driving, and it's ripped away by Largent. Largent looks ahead, but ultimately slows it down as the defense is there. Stacking the left side offensively. Finding an option, Thrapp. But instead, they're going to say there's a foul on the floor. So that's the team's 5th. So now they're in the bonus. Big Walnut will shoot 2.
Hey, Bryce, I'm interested to see what is going to be the adjustments for the Irish for Mobley, right? Right now, Ferguson's not on Mobley, but as the tallest person on the floor, I'm assuming that's going to have to be the adjustment here going out forward, especially with some foul trouble on the bench.
So Mobley gets the first. What a thriller so far we've had.
Back and forth, back and forth. Like we said in the pregame show, Bryce, it's going to be some good hoops.
There's the second. We're all squared away once again. Kennedy Hassel can't get the layup to fall, so now it's Big Walnut. 2 against 3, not in their favor, but an offensive foul will send it the other way. Thrapp putting the shoulder down.
And that's just great defense by the Irish right there, Bryce. Staying true to themselves, putting their hands straight up, and letting the contact come to them. You know, back in my day, I used to play for McDonald's gift cards when you took a charge. I wonder if she's earned one right there.
Running the offense. Tatum Smith at the wing. Crossover, working on Dameron. Reverse layup attempt, no good. Rebound goes to Mobley as she looks for danger.
That's a tough take right there, Bryce. She might want to find her teammates. Well, that's 2 defenders on there.
Trying to get a lot done in one possession.
Definitely.
Largent down low. They flip it. Mobley at the block to the top of the key. Largent feigns the three-pointer, but the right hand rolls out. She wants a foul, but I don't think it was there.
I don't think it was there either, Bryce. You know, they switched to a zone right there, trying to isolate Mobley, get her out of it. And I like how she stretched the defense, but didn't get a chance to execute on that one.
And goes for a jump ball. There was a offensive player spinning, and both defensive players got their hands on it, just tied it up. Possession arrow goes the way of Big Walnut.
Yeah.
And frustration over on the sideline. I think they're mad at the scorer's table because the scoreboard doesn't correctly represent where possession was. And until just about 30 seconds ago, it had no team fouls on either side or the bonus.
Maybe they're just so in tune to the game sometimes, you know. Play that score table is kind of tough sometimes. I've been there, done that.
Almost stolen away, but instead there's a floater. She gets her own rebound, sends it out to Smith. Smith tries the 3-ball, but it's over the backboard and out of bounds. 47.8 remaining here in the first quarter.
That was a good effort by the Irish. Had the chance to get a second chance shot right there. Just wasn't able to take the lid off the cup right there. But if you're going to go to the Eagles, you're going to have to tighten that up because this is a team you do not want to get too many second chance baskets to, Bryce.
Federer finds Dameron, but they will call a foul going against the defense, so that'll send Big Walnut to the line for 2 more and a chance to take the lead with this free throw. Largent will shoot the 2. First half of this quarter looked like St. Vincent-St. Mary's having Big Walnut on their heels, but you kind of feel like that's flipped a little bit.
Definitely, Bryce, definitely. Both these teams are still trying to fill each other out early on in this game. I feel like it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint.
30 seconds on the clock. Looks like no intention of holding it for the last shot. They flip the court. 3-ball attempt from Taylor Miller, trying to get a hold of it, but instead it's Big Walnut looking up the floor. Remy Largent one-on-one, stepping back on the 15-foot fadeaway jumper and knocks it down.
And that was great for her right there, getting to her spot where she's comfortable and able to knock it down, Bryce, especially in transition.
Trying the 3, Tatum Smith with the hand in her face. And that will expire the first quarter. At the end of the first, we are all, or rather the score, Big Walnut 15 to St. Vincent-St. Mary's 14. Stay with us.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
Back for second quarter action here at the Greater Columbus Convention Center as Big Walnut Golden Eagles taking on St. Vincent-St. Mary's Lady Fighting Irish. Now to Mobley. Around the horn. Mobley tries the three. Just a bit too short, but it'll be Cornu pushing the floor. Pulls up for a 17-footer, and that one goes down.
Once again, the Irish are back in that zone, Bryce. They try to once again make Mobley uncomfortable.
Federer thought about the three ball off the dribble, but instead will take it herself. Off the glass with the soft touch and gives Big Walnut the lead once again. So a jump ball. Sorry, the last made basket by St. Vincent-St. Mary ruled a three-pointer, so we're all tied away at 17. It's tough when you got three all in close proximity of each other.
Yeah.
Rogers-Williams down low. They're going to wave it off on the floor.
Ooh, it might be a push, Bryce.
And it'll go against Mobley. Only her first. She's doing a good job staying out of foul trouble so far. That was a factor last year. Just trying to make too much happen, but it's been a very clean game so far. Mobley on the break, pulling up just beyond the free throw line. Rolls out. Can't get that one either. Mobley thought about it. Now Morris off the far side of the backboard. Flips it. Now Smith with the left hand. Rejected by Mobley.
That's just great defense. That's just great defense by Big Walnut right there.
Morris working it down low to Mobley. Mobley gets it up with the right hand.
It seems like Big Walnut's kind of getting a sense of how to beat that zone as they're trying to stretch out the defense right there, Bryce.
Facing a three-quarter press, but it allows Rogers-Williams to get in behind for an easy basket.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. If they go back to that press, Bryce, how easy the Irish were able to beat that.
Overbiting on defense, and Federer will take it up. She'll get hacked as she tries to take it with the left hand. And so I guess the three-pointer not ruled a three-pointer after all. Having a little bit of trouble with the scorers table, and you know, at a certain point we kind of got to match what they do after a while, but score finally corrected. St. Vincent-St. Mary 18 to Big Walnuts 19, and we'll work on the scoreboard now.
This will be interesting, Bryce. Once again, it seems like the Irish are going to that zone, trying to once again make Mobley pass the ball, give the ball up, and have her teammates trying to score. Anybody but her seems like is the defensive assignment right now, Bryce.
Flip the court facing the press, but a double dribble. Just a minor mental mistake, but it does lead to the turnover, and Big Walnut has an opportunity to make this a two-possession game for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Bryce, seemed like she knew what she wanted to do in her mind, but her body was just a little bit lagging behind right there.
Federer with a nice cross move gets the defender off balance. She's by her. Largent with a deep three beyond the NBA three mark.
And that was just a good three right there, finding some separation in the defense and able to knock it down. They're going to need more of that tonight, Bryce.
Looks across the floor, but Alexa Morris is there instead. A jackpot pass. Now Thrapp throws it to the corner. Largent tries it again. It's too short, too flat. Fast pace on the other end. St. Vincent-St. Mary sets up the offense. She's double teamed, but she'll be fouled instead. Big Walnut with a 5-point lead, the largest lead they've had this entire game.
Definitely, Bryce. You can just feel the tension between both of these teams, right? They want to pull away, but cannot, right? Some really good hoops going on so far, Bryce.
It's 4:30 remaining in the second quarter. Just throws it over the head of Ferguson on the lob, and another turnover. Mobley checking onto the floor. We'll check out Dameron. And there will be a timeout called.
30-second timeout, St. Vincent-St. Mary's.
Yeah, it seems like they want to regroup after the last turnover, Bryce.
And you definitely can't blame them in a matchup like this where they've had the lead for so long. It was tied a couple of times. They were able to break away 2-3 points at a time. But now that they're facing a 5-point deficit and back-to-back turnovers, I think it is the right move to kind of slow this game down and hopefully stifle some of the momentum that Big Walnut has going, but also, you know, figure out what your game plan and what your move forward is.
Definitely, Bryce. I definitely felt like they wanted to capitalize when Mobley was off the floor right there, and the opposite kind of happened in that situation. So I definitely think they want to kind of regroup, discuss what's the plan of attack moving forward and how they can capitalize and get some momentum back on their side.
So with 4.5 remaining, it'll be Federer that takes it up the floor. Largent guarded closely along the baseline. Gets it out successfully to Federer. Morris looking down low. There's no one there, though. Cornute at the left sideline. She'll slow it down. Smith now to Halsell. Cornute picking up the screen from Ferguson. Morris guarding well, but they'll say too well. So we'll have free throws.
And that was a good sense of the pick and roll right there, Bryce. Once again, trying to get that mismatch that they wanted to have. And kudos for the Irish for trying to capitalize on that and drawing the foul right there.
So knocking down the first, that puts them within 4. Now 3. It's Morris to Mobley. Mobley gets whacked and she'll go to the line for 2. Get a look there, the ball fake and working it down low, and the speed, the footwork, the quickness of Sydney Mobley allowed her to be there and draw that contact.
Definitely, and like when you have a player that dominant, you just require a lot of attention. You could just see how when she moves, how the defense kind of reacted to that. But I feel like for Big Walnut, you have to capitalize on that and get your other players involved as well.
To the top of the key, Ferguson has space. She'll look down low. In fact, she'll be looking for Cassidy Grau, but too much mustard and over the head of her. So the turnover gives Big Walnut a chance to set this at potentially an 8-point lead with a 3-ball. Nobody there, and Thrapp, right place, right time, off the glass. It's good for 2.
That was just a great find by Big Walnut. Find the easy bucket down low.
Too flat on the 3-ball, so Big Walnut has another chance. Morris pump fakes, but they'll say too handsy on the defense. Tatum Smith picking up her 3rd foul of the night.
Substitution in for St. Vincent-St. Mary's.
And so in having to allocate so many resources to just stopping Sydney Mobley, it's put St. Vincent-St. Mary in a tough position in terms of fouls.
Definitely, Bryce, and that is definitely not what their game plan, what they wanted to do. But when you get in foul trouble like this, you're gonna have to rely deeper in your bench to have people kind of come up big.
But with the hands again, it'll be Thrapp that's fouled.
That foul was on St. Vincent-St. Mary's number 1, her second, team's 4th.
So that was St. Vincent-St. Mary's 4th team foul. One more will put Big Walnut at the free throw line.
Wouldn't be surprised here, Bryce, if you can see Big Walnut be a little more aggressive, try to draw that 5th foul to put him in the bonus for the rest of the quarter.
That aggression has come through. Mobley on the backside, able to corral the errant ball. Morris inside now, but what's the call there? Oh, they'll call a foul, so Morris will go to the charity stripe. And so they recognize the bonus scenario now.
At the line shooting to number 21, Alexa Morris.
Morris gets the first one to go. This is really not the game I think we were expecting to see with 2:37 remaining here in the second quarter, where Big Walnut now leads by 9.
Definitely, Bryce. But once again, it just seems like everything has been going right for Big Walnut, what they wanted to do, right? You know, go through the key players, getting the Irish into foul trouble and knocking down shots and free point in the free throw line. Oh, wow.
Mobley with the rejection down low.
Wow.
Not even using her dominant hand.
Wow, packed her stuff and told her to get out here, Bryce.
Largent picks and pops. Now facing the trap, but they'll call a timeout out of desperation and frustration, as you can see there.
Yeah, definitely, Bryce. You know, basketball's the game of runs, and it's just feeling like Big Walnut's on the edge of going on a big run right there.
So now with the timeout, only 2:10 remaining here in the second quarter, and this game is broken wide open. I mean, there's 2:10 in basketball time is an eternity, and the fact that already Big Walnut is shooting 2 free throws, and they're working through Mobley, who recognizes that she doesn't necessarily have to make the basket. If she goes to the free throw line enough times, it's going to make the difference.
Definitely. And we see Ferguson's checked back in, Bryce, trying to get some more size on the floor to try to slow down Mobley. Once again, like you said, she's kind of been going to the basket easy these last 2 minutes in. The Irish has kind of had enough, you can tell.
And so the Irish getting hit with a little bit of an uppercut there. How do you kind of calm a team down in a situation where you didn't feel like it was going to be this far? In fact, I'm sure they felt like they were going to be leading at this point in the game, but expectations are not turning out how they thought they were going to.
Kind of just got to reiterate, keeping the cool head. It's a long game, right? And once again, on the defensive side, just play defense with your feet and not with your hands, right? I feel like it's been a lot of pushes, Bryce, and not a lot of blocks. That means, you know, they're playing with a lot of the active hands, which can be good for them, but we're swatting the ball and slapping a lot of hands and arms. That's not going to be good for them.
So going with Taylor Miller, substitute point guard. She takes it up the floor. Taking a little bit of size out, a 3-ball attempt. That one coming from Ellie Linnington. But cannot find the bottom of the basket. In fact, cannot find the basket. So on the other end, Big Walnut with an opportunity to make this a double-digit lead going into halftime.
But once again, Bryce, when I see the Irish, got to play with your feet, slide in front of the defender, and not try to play with so much active hands, especially with foul trouble.
Thrapp working it around, takes it up, but they'll say travel will send it the other way.
A little bit too many steps right there. You like the idea of trying to get up and under, but it was up and under in a step, Bryce.
It's kind of like in that one-on-one with 3 dribbles, like you get it underneath, you spin, 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 hope to get him off balance. Yeah.
Try putting a spin cycle.
Yeah.
It's not laundry day.
Mobley poking it away, coming up with the turnover. Federer, great hustle on the ground, feeds it back to Mobley. Largent tries the 3 from the wing. Rebound goes off the rim, but into the hands of the Lady Irish. Skipping it, they'll try the mid-range jumper from a foot inside the 3-point line. Unsuccessful. Inside of 1 minute remaining. Federer, 2-on-1, but it'll be a travel. We'll take another look at that one, and I think that one just evident.
Definitely. It seemed like she saw Mobley late and tried to double think it, and once again, right thoughts, but just too many steps. But if I'm the Irish coach right now, I'm preaching composure, guys. You know, down but not out, and it's okay. I'll try to end this half right and try to get some points here.
Rogers, Williams. They'll say Thrapp using too much hands on the defense. So that's her 3rd, and that at halftime does put her in a bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, definitely, Bryce. Not ideal. Well, she has to play very smart these last 32 seconds.
Up to the top inside of 30 seconds. Approaching 20. To the corner, 3-ball. Ferguson, no good, but rebound Rogers Williams. They say Mobley will foul her.
Yeah, Mobley definitely got her on the arm right there, trying to protect that second chance basket. Great play by the Irish, drawing the contact and trying to get some points here going to the half.
First one didn't have the right arc. She'll get another try. Quick release on the free throw. And we're within 8. Making a substitution, I think, to set up the full court press.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the Irish trying to get some points.
Dameron flipping it. Mobley gets her own rebound, takes it up with the right hand. No time remaining here in the first half, and Big Walnut holds on to a 10-point lead over St. Vincent-St. Mary's, 31-21. Stay with us. Halfway through, but anything can happen as we still have 16 minutes left to play.
Definitely, Bryce. There's a lot of battles to be played, but if you're Big Walnut, you should be feeling pretty good right now. You know, you build a nice lead, but it's right. The second half is for you to keep it and keep on going.
Taking a look at our halftime stats. And for St. Vincent-St. Mary, two pointers, 2 3-pointers, 13 rebounds, 7 turnovers, 15 fouls on the game. 7 free throws for Big Walnut, 5 twos, 4 threes, 16 rebounds, 4 turnovers, 9 fouls, and 9 free throws. And while Big Walnut has been shooting decent, what's really made the difference is their ability not only to get to the free throw line, but also put their opponents in foul trouble.
Definitely, Bryce. They're making their opponents uncomfortable on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the floor right now, Bryce. And yeah, it's one of those things that they're just kind of going deeper into the bench that you can see that they're comfortable with, especially with the talents on the floor, Bryce.
And for St. Vincent-St. Mary, they got to feel like they're still in this one. What do you feel like some of the adjustments they're making in halftime are going to be?
I think definitely I could see them going back to that zone, trying to push Mobley out of the paint as best as possible. Easier said than done, though, as we see this first half. But I definitely think that's just kind of what they have to do: keep everything in front of them on the defensive side, so they are able to get those rebounds and able to run their offense to full capabilities.
So we are underway here in the third quarter. Largent sends it to the corner. Now Federer dribbles and picks it up. Mobley along the baseline. She's trapped, flipping the floor, almost gets away, but Federer able to catch up with it, but a double dribble. We get another look at that one.
It just seems as soon as Mobley caught the ball in that last possession, they kind of clamped down and double teamed her. Interested to see if they're going to keep doing that as the game goes on, Bryce.
So Grau sends it down to Cornute. Cornute looking for Rogers-Williams. Now outside, 3-ball attempt offline. Grau couldn't get it to drop. Big Walnut takes it the other way. Now Thrapp takes it low to the block, working it back on the spin move, drops it. Cornute looking to rally the offense as they now trail by 12, pulling up from 15. Federer, hand in her face, and she'll airball it.
And that was not with the game plan, I can tell you that, right, Bryce? But I think the Irish needs to settle down real quick, regain that composure we talked about in the halftime show. You know, they're down, yes, but not out of this game.
I think for younger players, you recognize you really need points. You need that good possession in you. And, you know, from point A to point B, not so clear there.
Right, Bryce. There's no such thing in basketball as a 12-point play, right? But as a coach and as a team, you need to say, how can we go on this mini run? Maybe we try to go 6-0 in a run right now. 6 points and try to play some good defense. Those short stretches play dividends in the long term of the game.
So it'll be Mobley inbounding the ball, and she finds Federer. Out of bounds. Morris couldn't get the pass to connect to Largent. Ferguson puts the ball on the ground, pulls up from 16. A long rebound recovered by Thrapp, throwing it ahead. Mobley the target, but just grazes her fingertips and she couldn't pull it in.
I like the thought, Bryce. It was a great thought and great idea, but it's not the best execution. I can definitely see the big Walnut Golden Eagles trying to push the pace a little more in the second half, try to stay aggressive, but you have to execute and make sure you're making the most of your possessions.
So timeout called by Big Walnut after the turnover, and with a 12-point lead. I'm just looking to clean things up and keep things in order as we round out the last 14 minutes or so. .606 remaining here in the third quarter. Rogers-Williams sends it out beyond the three-point line. Tatum-Smith can't get it to drop. Looking ahead, Largent working off the screen from Mobley. Now to Morris. They'll set up the offense. A lob to Mobley, but she was in double coverage. It gets poked away. Now up the floor is Cornute. Lexi Federer there to break it up.
That was really interesting, Bryce, in that last defensive stand, seeing the Irish fronter and kind of back Mobley right there, just playing no deny basketball.
Kind of like a triangle too, but like a little conditional, right?
Yeah, well, that's what you're trying to say, Bryce. Anybody besides her.
Ferguson with the nice move. Couldn't find the bottom of the basket though. Ooh. Mobley working one-on-one. Now Federer puts the ball on the ground on the crossover, flipping the floor. Morris tries a three. No contact with the hoop. Rogers-Williams takes control. St. Vincent-St. Mary up the floor. Now a three-ball attempt from Miller. Miller unlucky. Thrapp falling away. Bingo!
That was a great bucket by Rapp right there, hitting a fall away short corner mid-range right there, Bryce. That's a hard shot, but kudos to her for knocking it down.
With a 14-point lead, Big Walnut is firing on all cylinders. Rogers-Williams rejected from behind. The ball will stay with them, but you can see the frustration with St. Vincent-St. Mary's just this quarter not going their way.
Bryce, I saw some police officers outside the convention center, and it must be because there's a block party out here. Yeah.
Now Cornute to Rogers-Williams, desperately needing a score here in the third quarter. We're halfway through without one. Trying to do too much, Cornute. The shot is too short, looking ahead to Mobley, and once again, cannot find Mobley. I mean, it's a good idea, but you've got to execute.
Definitely, Bryce. I wonder how many more times we're going to go to the wishing well trying to execute that fast pace. I definitely can see some adjustments here in the game. Kind of slowing it down and just running her offense, because even though she technically looks open, it's hard to get the ball to her.
Cross midcourt they go. Ferguson with Mobley in her face takes the baseline route, but they'll say it sails out of bounds. They tried to save it, but before Fighting Irish did that, it was out. Tight defense, but a great move from Ferguson. The drought continues for St. Vincent-St. Mary's. 4.5 minutes at least without a score.
Definitely, Bryce. And they have to find something out quick because there is a lid on top of that basket right now for them.
Chips it to the corner. Now it's stolen, looking up the floor. Miller at the wing. Down to the right corner. Now Ferguson from 15 feet. Give and go, take. And one. She'll go to the line for one more.
You can just see the sigh of relief on the Irish sideline. Finally be able to get one in. You know, it was just you can tell the frustration, Bryce. And hopefully this is for them a turn of tides in the game.
So looking to complete the three-point play is Melania Cornute. That's what she does. Now only 11-point deficit. Little bit more manageable for the Lady Irish. Trying the three ball. Thrapp was able to come away with the mid-range jumper, but not the three ball this time, and there's a foul in the backcourt.
And that was a good look right there, Bryce. You got to knock it down if you're a big Walnut. But once again, you know, the Irish playing some great defense to see if they can come back on offense and put the ball in the bucket.
I mean, working this down to a single-digit lead, that would be huge for this St. Vincent-St. Mary squad.
Definitely, especially going to the fourth quarter, Bryce.
A three-ball attempt is too short. A long rebound will go out of bounds, and Big Walnut will take over. This place would have came alive if that one would have fell.
Definitely, Bryce. You can definitely see the anxiety on the Irish side. They want to definitely try to make a little run here, especially going into the fourth quarter. At least cutting this down to single digits.
So Federer trapped near midcourt, but they'll call a foul. There was nobody in the vicinity of the ball, so the foul just completely bailing out Federer. That one going against number 32, Rogers Williams.
I think that's against Tatum, Bryce.
Oh, Tatum, 42 rather, yeah.
That's pretty big for them too, as their three-pointer specialist.
So now Dameron has it safely inbounds. Thrapp tries to take it up, but instead she's hacked, and you can hear St. Vincent-St. Mary's fans not happy with that call.
I'm going to say it quietly, but I think that's actually the right call, Bryce.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just seemed like she got it on her hand on releasing the ball right there, and you had to put your hand straight up, Bryce.
We'll take another look at it, and it really was that situation. It wasn't straight up, and I think that's what the official was looking for.
Yeah, you can see how she's kind of towering over right there, Bryce. Big no-no in the basketball community.
Thrapp can't get the first. She'll have a second chance. More successful this time. Big Walnut with the 12-point lead, 36-24 with 2:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Dishing it to the wing, looking for Ferguson on the post. She's guarded by Dameron. Trying from just inside the arc. Picking up another foul as Thrapp secures the rebound. Just a loose ball foul.
Yeah, that's a pretty textbook right there. You can't fall on top of the rebounder, Bryce. Got to set your feet.
According to the scoreboard, that's the fourth team foul for St. Vincent-St. Mary. So
definitely be careful not getting into what happened the last two quarters, Bryce.
Got great advice from the big man Brian Skoronsky at halftime. Our owner, he said, "Trust Bryce Coder." You're probably right. Oh, and a great move falling away, but from Mobley, she's a bit slow to get up. They both are. Mobley on her feet, Ferguson still down.
Looks like she's a little too slow, you know.
get a look at what happened there. A couple of white jerseys in the area. Ferguson wanting to stay on.
And you gotta give kudos to Ferguson right there. Want to stay on the floor, be there for her teammates. But you can definitely tell she's in a little bit of pain, a little gimpy. It's probably best for her to rest her legs for the rest of the half, or the rest of the quarter, Bryce.
Rogers-Williams has it at the top of the key. Thinking about the 3 ball, but dishing it out instead. Now Cornute working on Largent. Largent, too much contact. That'll be the 3rd team foul for Big Walnut. Only Largent 2nd. So lining up underneath the basket for the inbound play. And they will call 5 seconds closely guarded.
That's what it looks like, Bryce.
And it was kind of tough to decipher because a buzzer went off on another court at the same time. I'm like, where is the shot clock?
That's what I was saying. I was looking around. I was like, is there a clock I'm aware of? Yeah. I'm not aware.
So entanglement, and they'll call a foul against the defense. So going to the free throw line for 2 is Remy Largent. And a chance to lengthen this lead even further. Inside of 1 minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and they hold on to a 12-point lead that could be extended to as many as 14 with a trip to the free throw line here.
And Bryce, if you're the Irish right now, you have to lock in right here these last 54 seconds, trying to maybe try to steal 2 buckets here to end this quarter. Is trying to position yourself to make a run in the 4th quarter to try to at least tie or win the game.
Mobley to Largent. Largent tries the 3, not strong enough. Rebound goes to St. Vincent-St. Mary's. Allie Ferris takes it up the floor. She finds Cornute. Cornute takes it up strong, but she can't get it to go. They'll call a travel against Largent, a turnover as she was home free ahead. Largent smacking that one right back, and it was off the inbounder. Largent gets it.
Wow, that's a heads-up play right there, Bryce. That is a great defense.
Not only a heads-up play by Largent, but a heads-up play by the official to recognize that. Mobley trying it, toe on the 3-point line. They'll rule it.
Nice little KG, Kevin Garnett mid-ranger right there, Bryce.
Working off of the flex, but loses control of the ball, and it goes out of bounds.
And it just seems like the Irish are imploding right now and have no composure. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to get into this next quarter and try to get that, some of that composure back, Bryce.
So just 10 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. They hold for the last shot. Dameron fighting for it. It's pulled away. Hitting the deck hard is Cornute, but the 3rd quarter will expire. Big Walnut leading this one 39-24 over St. Vincent-St. Mary. Stay with us for the 4th quarter coming up next. fourth quarter from the Greater Columbus Convention Center at the Holiday Hoopla tournament presented by Bleacher Republic. Big Walnut leading 39-24. Ferguson trying to ignite that spark, can't get it to drop.
It just seems like the Irish have not been able to get anything inside Bryce, you know, and includes a Big Walnut, making them very uncomfortable. But I feel like they're going to have to probably attack the bucket with their bigs if they want to try to put a dent in his lead.
So just keeping it around the three-point line. Thrap's able to get underneath, working it up against the backboard, and we'll have another jump ball. Definitely get the idea there, but I think just a little bit too much hesitation.
Definitely, Bryce, definitely. She was in position, but then as soon as she kind of put the ball down, two defenders crowded her.
Cornu with a quick take to the basket, and they'll say that she's fouled. She'll go to the line for two.
Cornu's been having some really good takes today, you know. Hopefully, you know, they're going to need a couple more. They want to put it in this lead, Bryce. But I think that's going to have to be the recipe for them to get back to this game. Is attack the basket, draw some fouls, stop the clock, and, you know, gain some composure, momentum back.
Could only get half of them to fall. And ultimately, the official ruling that it goes the way of Big Walnut. I think all the officials looking at each other for who had the best angle, and finally, closer to the sideline near us. I think that's the correct call, too. Official crew has been spectacular.
Definitely, Bryce. It's hard to be a zebra now these days.
Back-to-back nights. We were at Buckeye Valley last night. Another exceptional crew. A lot of contact at the top of the key. Looked like it was just incidental. Largent tries the three from the corner. Bangs it home.
It's like just a bang-bang play right there, Bryce. It's part of basketball. We got to have you know, you have to be a goldfish sometimes. Got to forget that, but next play if you're the Irish.
Tatum Smith trying to reciprocate. Can't get it to drop. Looking ahead, 2-on-1. Now to Federer. Federer with the right hand. Crowd wants an and one.
And that's a three-woman weave right there, Bryce. That was great.
Ferguson tries the three. They're desperate for one, and they find it.
That's not a three, it's a two. Just a two.
Oh, a two, just a two. So now Mobley up at the wing. Rogers-Williams getting inner grill from the three-point line. Thought about it. Now Federer, too soft.
Yeah, should have to try to get the top of the glass with that one. She's a little too soft.
Ferguson tries it again. Another two-pointer. Deep, long mid-range. Who says the mid-range game is dead?
Yeah, the statisticians guys or analytics guys would just kind of say that's a long layup, but that was a good bucket nonetheless, Bryce.
We'll take a quick second to thank our sponsors who support our live and free coverage of local high school sports. NAMI Ohio, the state's voice on mental illness. First Federal Community Bank, banking locally just got a little easier. Ostrander Roast, Buckeye Valley's favorite small-town coffee shop with big-town flavor. Spherion Mid-Ohio is proud to support our local athletes. We know the foundations that make great employees are woven into the teamwork, focus, drive, and perseverance given in each practice and game. Let's get to work. PepsiCo, food, drinks, and smiles, and the Holiday Hoopla tournament. Ohio's top teams won epic showcase. So all even in terms of scoring here in the fourth quarter. It feels like St. Vincent-St. Mary getting a little bit of their jive back.
Definitely, Bryce. Definitely see Ferguson after you hit that mid-range. You kind of look at the crowd, say, hey, it's okay. Still got a lot of time left, guys. Got a lot of ball time left. But they're going to have to go on a run very quickly. They're going to try to make an impact and try to come out with a win right here, Bryce, because I could definitely feel I can feel Big Walnut if I had to turn a corner.
So with just under 6 minutes remaining, we'll see how the rest of this game materialize, but Big Walnut holding on strong so far.
That foul's on St. Vincent-St. Mary's number 13, Aubrey Jackson, her second, team's first.
What? Oh, wow.
So trying from the corner is Largent. Largent, another three-pointer adding to it. (47-29), Big Walnut leading. Rogers-Williams working on Thrapp. Gets her own miss, fighting for it. This time is able to bring it down.
You know what they say, second time's a charm.
So they will call a foul, it looks like this one going against Sydney Ferguson. That's her third with 4:49 remaining. Not in the worst shape foul trouble-wise.
You know, Bryce, you can't take them home with you. Sometimes you gotta use them, right? As long as you don't go over the limit.
Trapped along the three-point line. Thrapp is all alone. She looks to the baseline, pulling up from 15 feet. Can't get the friendly bounce. Now it's Grau to Cornute, guarded by Mobley. Size mismatch. She ends up sending it out, trying a three. Mobley sealing off Cornute well, and she gets the rebound. And they call a block foul. So Mobley taking a lot of contact, just the third team foul for St. Vincent-St. Mary. Cornute has 4, though. It's Federer on the give and go, takes it up. Mobley's there on the rebound, and they'll call a foul on the floor, I think going against St. Vincent-St. Mary. It is going against Tatum Smith. I believe that's her 5th. It is, so she'll check out of the game.
That's a big blow for the Irish right there, Bryce. Tatum's such an impact player. Not having her for the rest of the game, that's huge.
Huge indeed. Our player spotlight of the night. She had 5 three-pointers against Richmond Heights. Dameron on the inbound, now to Federer. Low pass on the floor, now Mobley. Federer gets it back, taking it up, able to navigate the defenders.
And that's a great find by Mobley, fighting that there was a double team on her. And that was just a great finish by Federer.
Trying a 3-ball is Ferguson. Ferguson struggled from beyond the arc so far tonight. Down low to Rogers-Williams, triple team. They send it back out to Cornute. Cornute, unlucky on the try. Thrapp will take it one-on-one as she takes it across midcourt to the corner. Now to Federer. Federer guarded by Grau. Grau hits the deck. Down low and able to pull it in. That one, Kate Haley. And a 20-point lead for Big Walnut.
Rolling away with it, Bryce, as we reach the 2:40 mark in the 4th quarter.
So a timeout called by St. Vincent-St. Mary, and you get a look at the points scored this quarter, 10-7. Big Walnut taking command of this lead. They have a 51-31 lead over St. Vincent-St. Mary. This was not the contest we thought we were going to get, was it?
It was not, Bryce, but it just kind of shows how Big Walnut you can see their preparation for this game and how they kind of viewed it. You know, they lost the last time they met, and I think, you know, this was something. This is the one that they had scheduled, like circled on their schedule, and it showed. You know, Mobley's had a really good game so far, scoring, rebounding, and finding their teammates. And it's just not Mobley; it's everybody spreading the wealth, and everybody's playing great defense for the Big Walnut side.
And I think with the record of Big Walnut being 5-2 and the Max Preps rankings putting them around 200 and all of that's, you know, algorithmic and all of that, but it does not accurately represent how strong this Big Walnut team is. They have played exceptional talent so far this season. The 2 games that they've lost, they weren't flukes. It was games where they were playing really high-level talent. They want the iron sharpen iron situation. And you get a look at just how good they are tonight.
Definitely, Bryce. You definitely see that this team doesn't want to play their best basketball in December. They want to play in March.
So just 2:32 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Likely just looking to slow it down as much as possible. Robber on her way. 3 jerseys at midcourt trying to come up with possession.
Oh, see, we got a player down.
And a down player at midcourt. Slow to get up. And there right at the tail end, we saw them corralling possession with Big Walnut having possession. Must have really been struggling to warrant that injury timeout. Yeah, she's really shaken up.
Yeah, it's looking like having some trouble in the leg area. Hopefully she's able to get back up and walk off the court.
So we will take a quick break. We'll be right back. Back here in the fourth quarter, 2:14 remaining. It was Ellie Linnington down. She came off on her own 2 feet, was holding at her head though. But we are back in action. Now Morris over her head. Mobley getting up. Ferguson on the other end. Back to Ferguson. Ferguson. Too much off the back iron. Mobley all alone, but she has to turn around to catch the ball. One-on-one with Grau. Can't get it, but gets her own rebound. She'll go to the line for 2. Can't get that one to drop either.
Oh, that's just crazy right there, Bryce. Mobley's such a dynamic player, doing everything she can tonight.
Substitution, that does put Big Walnut in the bonus, but with a minute 44 remaining, I think this is all but over.
Definitely, Bryce. I know you said that Big Walnut's ranked like 252 in the state right now. I definitely think there's going to be some ranking
big
shake-up.
shift here, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of that is Max Prep, you know, an algorithm they got to put it through. They have hundreds and hundreds of teams throughout the state of Ohio they got to take into account, but it is not representative of this basketball team.
Definitely. People don't know. I feel like they know now of how dangerous these Big Walnut ladies can be.
Mobley can't get the second one to drop either. Ferguson able to pull it in. A great athletic move from the post player. Throwing it away. A three-ball attempt, this one from Allie Ferris. Ferris can't get it to drop. Ferguson crossing over, loses control of the dribble.
And it's looked like Mobley just is checking out for the last time we see her on the floor tonight.
And we'll have another timeout called. This one a 30. We'll take another quick break. Just about a minute remaining here in the fourth quarter as Big Walnut looks to close out St. Vincent-St. Mary. They lead 51-33. Timeout called by Big Walnut. They're all tied at 2 with timeouts. Clanks it off the iron, but gets her own rebound. Out of bounds, and St. Vincent-St. Mary will keep it. Trying a three-ball. Oh, they call it a two-ball. Ferguson has made several of those, and those are tough, you know, when you see a few, because you just take a few inches back and you've got yourself an extra point.
Right, Bryce. It's the Kevin Garnett dilemma, right?
Yeah.
He could have been top 10 scorer in the NBA if he just would have scooped back 3 feet.
Yeah. 34.8 remaining in the game. Be sure to stay with us for the post-game show and MVP interview after this. Cornute has it at the elbow, dishes it out to Ferguson. Ferguson with a shifty right hand. Looking ahead to Morris now, into the corner, 3 seconds remaining, bangs home a triple. As time expires, Big Walnut walking away with the victory here, 54-37 over the formerly undefeated St. Vincent-St. Mary's Fighting Irish. Stay with us for the post-game show and the MVP interview coming up next.
Were you expecting someone else? Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report. All I want for Christmas is you to watch The Joe Show every Wednesday night. I'm back.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10, it's glistening once again. For candy canes and silver lights, blah 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 blah. It's beginning to look a lot like
Everything else can wait. It's Christmas after all. Pepsi Max, thirsty for more.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
Strander Roast MVP player of the game, and it's Sydney Mobley with 19 points on the night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so this was redemption for you all last year, coming down to a single possession. What's on the wrong end of that? What does it mean for you to come away with a victory against an undefeated St. Vincent-St. Mary squad?
It feels amazing. Like, we've worked so hard this entire season, and we've had some setbacks, but it just feels really good to get this win.
And last year going down in the Final Four, and I talked to Coach Barry in the offseason. She said that was really hard for you all. Really took you guys a long time to get over. How does that kind of fuel your motivation coming into practice and coming into games this season?
It tells us like every day that we have something to prove and we have to get back. And our group chat name is actually Get Back to State. So every day when we get in the gym, we know that we got to get back there.
And you know this squad is going to be tough. You got a couple of bigs that you're facing down low that are really athletic. What do you feel like you had the most success in shutting down the offense of St. Vincent-St. Mary?
I definitely think our team defense was the biggest thing, rotating, trusting each other.
And in this one, I mean, you had a ton of trips to the free throw line, a lot of charity stripe opportunities, and a lot of physicality. Is that kind of something that you've incorporated or really been focusing on in the offseason, is bringing that physicality?
Yeah, definitely. Like with preparing for college and stuff, like I definitely have been working on taking bumps and in my workouts and continuing my dribble and transition.
And you are looking towards that college transition. What do you feel like you're most proud of in your development recently?
I'm most proud of just like all the work that I put in and just like making sure that I do stay versatile. So anytime someone tells me there's something I need to work on, I make sure to make it a point to work on it.
Awesome. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Shout out my family.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sydney Mobley, our Ostrander Roast MVP player of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
Big Walnut coming up with a huge victory, 54-37 over St. Vincent-St. Mary's, and a colossal win for them as they succumbed to a 3-point loss last season. I mean, huge for the motivation.
Definitely. Like we said earlier, they definitely had this one circled on their schedule, and just to see the growth that from the last season to this season, I know it's going to be a big confidence booster going in, as they kind of go throughout their season for the rest of the year, Bryce.
Getting a look at the final stats. 9 2-pointers, 4 3-pointers, 22 rebounds, 14 turnovers, 23 fouls for St. Vincent-St. Mary's. The sore spot for them, 7 free throws. For Big Walnut, 13 twos, 5 threes, 16 rebounds, 8 turnovers, 14 fouls, and 14 free throws. So fouls really was the story of the game. I mean, tons of trips to the charity line, and Big Walnut really taking advantage of those opportunities.
Definitely, Bryce. It just didn't seem like the Fighting Irish had a solution or any type of game plan for Mobley tonight. She was just kind of feasting on the court, getting her teammates involved. And also, I feel like Big Walnut had a great rebound tonight as well. They just kind of did everything right.
And so rounding things out, we'll take one more opportunity to thank our sponsors who support our live and free coverage of local high school sports. I'd like to thank NAMI Ohio, the state's voice on mental illness. The First Federal Community Bank, banking locally just got a little easier. Ostrander Roast, Buckeye Valley's favorite small-town coffee shop with big-town flavor. Spherion Mid-Ohio is proud to support our local athletes. We know the foundations that make great employees are woven into the teamwork, focus, drive, perseverance given in each practice and game. Let's get to work. PepsiCo, food, drinks, smiles, and the Holiday Hoopla tournament presented by Bleacher Republic. Ohio's top teams won epic showcase. Those watching at home, thank you very much for tuning in. I'd like to thank Joshua Anderson joining me on color commentary, as well as Sean Williamson over on the camera. I'm Bryce Coder, your play-by-play commentator and director for the evening. And if you are watching at home, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great rest of your night.